One problem with many schools is that they fail to develop a culture that encourages and supports youth's academic, social, and civic development. As a result, schools have developed a variety of policies to deal with the problems they encounter. Unfortunately, these policies have often been punitive in orientation and based on a get-tough approach to youth. In fact, these policies have often resembled policies found in criminal justice and are based on the concepts of deterrence and incapacitation. Some of these policies call for the placement of youths in alternative schools, the development of zero-tolerance policies, and increasing referrals to juvenile justice agencies. Moreover, these policies have been expanded over time to capture a wider group of youths, many of whom have not engaged in serious behaviors. Moreover, these policies are not designed to deal with the problems, but to shift the problem to other institutions within or outside the schools. Simultaneously, there has been increasing concern among educators about school safety as a result of school shootings. To deal with school safety, schools have increasingly come to rely on school resource officers, SROs. While SROs can be an important addition to the school team charged with safety and developing responses to youth behaviors, there are potential problems with the placement of police in schools. For example, many police officers are not adequately educated and trained to deal with youth. Many police receive very little training on dealing with children and little or no training in policing in educational settings. In addition, police are often pressured by school personnel to discipline children and to demonstrate that they support school rules. However, enforcing school rules is not a police responsibility. Another factor to consider is the increasing militarization of police culture, which ensures that too many police measure their performance by making arrests. Too often, police departments and school systems lack appropriate memorandums of understanding, MOUs, that clearly spell out the police role in school settings. Finally, a disproportionate percentage of those arrested will be minority and poor youths because police, educators, and others are more likely to view them as symbolic threats. The arrest of youths within school settings is facilitated by laws that, while they may be well-intentioned, can make it very easy to arrest youths. Consider this Kentucky law on harassing communications. Keep in mind that similar laws exist in other states. However, one doesn't need new laws to arrest youth in school or in other settings if law enforcement officers are so inclined. Consider the case of Desiree Watson that was noted at the beginning of this lecture. The 6-year-old kindergarten student was charged with battery on a school official, a felony, and 2 misdemeanors, disruption of a school function and resisting a law enforcement officer. While school officials and police play important roles in the school-to-prison pipeline, because many of these cases are not serious, they cannot penetrate very far into the juvenile justice process unless prosecutors, juvenile court intake officers, and judges either support charges or do not voice objections. Unfortunately, in too many instances, these individuals are willing to support decisions made at earlier stages of the juvenile justice process. When possible, however, you should be kept out of the formal juvenile justice process where things may be made worse, not better. When you enter the formal juvenile justice process, it can disrupt a child's education, and it is negatively associated with school success and retention. Involvement in the formal juvenile justice process can lead to unnecessary and harmful labeling that hurts children. Involvement in juvenile justice may not address the underlying causes of the problem. Also, juvenile justice responses are not always developmentally appropriate, nor are they always effective responses to children's problem behaviors. Placement of youth in juvenile justice for minor offenses directs attention and resources away from more serious problems. Finally, ineffective responses to youth's problem behaviors does nothing to help kids or protect the community. In fact, it may do the opposite.